Welcome to the 10 Acre Woods. My name's Mark, and I'd like to wish all of my American watchers a happy Thanksgiving. So it's Thanksgiving weekend in the US. We in Canada have our Thanksgiving back a month ago in October. I guess because celebrating the harvest happens a little bit sooner here in Canada because of the colder weather. So I figured this would be a good opportunity to take you around, show you all of our animals, and how many animals do we have, and a little bit of a story on them. Because I've been reading in the comments, some of you had been asking, oh, I didn't see Tinker was one that I don't think I got in the last video. Is Tinker still around? Yes, she is, and we'll head back there and check them out. So I'm up in the front animal section today, and it's where we have our equine. We put them up here about a month ago. Our biggest concern was that Daisy, which is this one here. She was seen wandering partly across the pond, and of course it's been fairly mild, so we were a little concerned with that, and we figured, well, let's put the equine up front. Now Daisy came in just over a year ago, and her story is there was an older couple looking for a home for Daisy, and they didn't really have a whole lot of experience. She was more of a lawn ornament, and her feet were in really rough condition, so she could barely walk when she came here on the farm. She has now a clean bill of health. Her feet are in great condition. We've had a farrier come out. Some of you have also asked about why don't you trim her hair, her mane. We don't do that because of fly season. It doesn't really bother her too much where it's hanging down, but you know, it does keep the flies kind of out of her eyes. So she can see just fine with it coming down. We may give her a little trim from time to time depending on the time of year. Tara likes to put it in a little ponytail, and then she looks pretty cute. Now we have Meadow here. Meadow was born here on the farm. Now Shadow and Willow came in a couple years ago, and they came in with Levi. Now the whole story was Levi is too small to breed, so he can't reach, but he's not much smaller than Willow and Shadow. Now it turned out Meadow or Willow, get all these names straight, Willow was pregnant and she gave birth to this little girl here. I had a little helping hand in that, and Willow and Shadow headed off to another farm where I believe she or both of them still are. So Levi is the dad to this little one. You can see his little contribution here with the dark tail. But they were separated for some time because Levi was up front and the girls and Meadow were in the back. So when they got together, it was quite a sight to see the reunion of father and daughter. Now, I do a lot with cameras, security cameras around the property, and I put this one up just yesterday. This is a Reolink Argus 2 camera. It's completely wireless. I do have it plugged in here, but you can actually get a solar panel so that it can be set up in remote areas. So I like to have cameras up just in case you know, anything happens, especially if we plan on putting our stud goats back up, and we can see if they are escaping or if there are any other concerns. So Tara was out here about 3 days ago, I think it was, when she saw like a white flash go amongst or along the side of the building and through a hole just out of the corner of her eye. She's not sure what it was. She's thinking it's a mink. And if it is a mink, that can be detrimental around our birds. So we want to make sure that, which is another reason why I put up the camera, just so we can see what's going on. It is motion activated, so I don't have to scroll through tons of footage. So it was in this area here, and what we've done is we've set up just a live trap in here, and then we've covered it with a blanket. So the rodent will go in, step on a little trigger, and then this will close. So nothing yet. It may not even have been a mink, but you know, better safe than sorry. All right, so here is our duck, rooster, goose, rabbit area. So we have a total of 5 geese. Now these numbers do change from time to time as animals come in. We have 34 ducks, and we have a combination of chickens and guineas numbering about 41. I'm not sure of the breakdown of those. Tara has kind of lumped them in. Muscovy ducks. We have Fred the Pekin duck here. We have the Czech geese and the Chinese geese there. So there's 3 Czech, and then there is 2 Chinese geese. And you can tell from the little bump on their nose. So then in ducks here, we have a little young Muscovy. We have a female rowan. Now the females look different, just like mallards. You can see in here there is a rowan with the distinguishable green coloring on the neck. We have Ancona ducks. What else do we have? There's some male Muscovies there in the back, and a couple females as well. So those are the ducks and geese. Now somebody has asked, actually a number of you have asked, how do you keep all the roosters together? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's not a rooster. I think there's a couple more. Yeah, there's 9. And there's probably a couple outside as well. So the way we can keep them together is there are no hens in this area. So the boys don't have to worry about fighting over girls. So I guess picture it as a bar, and none of the girls have shown up at the bar. So there's no fighting over the girls. I don't know. That's probably the best analogy I can think of off the top of my head. So they do scuffle from time to time, but it's more of a dominance thing. And they're kind of thinking, well, when a girl does come by, we want to make sure that we know who's number 1. Now, if you do ever have any chickens or roosters with any blood, if they have been in any kind of battle, you want to make sure you separate them. So having areas that you can put the other ones until they can heal, because as soon as chickens see blood, then you know it's kind of game on. They'll pick at it, and they can kill the other bird. So this area here. It's actually fairly warm in here. It's not bad at all. Tara usually puts down some healthy straw down here just to keep things good. She'll probably do that this evening once we come out and do the evening feed. Now rabbits, we have 4 rabbits. And again, that's not a rabbit. You just want to be in the shot. So there are a few rabbits here. We have had, last year I think we had about 500 rabbits come in. We did quite a large rescue. The first thing we did is we separated them all to boys and girls, and then we rehomed them. Now rehoming them, some of them went to families that wanted a pet. Some of them went to other farms that wanted some rabbits. But what we did to ensure that there were no mistakes is we only gave them boys and only gave this farm girls to make sure that you know, there wasn't going to be any hanky-panky going on, and we would have the rabbit population kind of under control. Okay, so I'm just getting ready to go out to our main animal enclosure area, and I'm noticing, you know, there's not a lot going on. They haven't seen me yet. It's funny how the sheep like to spend time outside, whereas the other ones stay inside. And usually when I go out there, then of course everybody comes out and looks and says, oh, what's going on? Who's here? So we will head out. I can see Carl and Billy are out there. Looks like Holly as well. So this is the outdoor rabbit area. There's a rabbit there. So they have full access to the outside. We're planning on changing this around come spring. So this area here, as well as all of this area here, is going to be changed out. This used to be a pen, but I think we're going to kind of close it off and possibly use some of this material here that we got as shelving unit. was that, a year and a half ago, I guess, we got at a shelving unit and we made our greenhouse. All right, so sheep. So this looks like Daisy. Daisy is one of the last ones that came in. We have 8 sheep. So she came in with Tulip, and Tulip looks to be over yonder. So 2 girls. You may have seen a bunch of photos that I took and I posted to Facebook and our Instagram page. Holly is coming up on 2 years old. Her and Billie Jean were born here on the farm. And Carl got into a little bit of scuffle once he first came in. Kind of broke his horn. They've calmed down nicely, but I tend to keep my distance slightly because I don't want to smell like male goat. This here is Charlotte. Hi, Charlotte. So the plan with Charlotte is she was kind of a loner. She doesn't hang out with the other ones. We've got somebody interested in her and her kids. So we figured we would breed her this year and then rehome her to a place just on the other side of the city with her kid/kids, depending on if she has 1 or 2. So it's coming to that time of year where people are asking us about goats for the spring, so we've got a list of people that are definitely interested. So coming into here, I was expecting them to actually come out and see what things, what was going on. We have 9 goats, and of course we have 3 alpaca. We did have a 4th alpaca, Barry, but he passed away, almost a year ago. It was just before Christmas last year. So a few of you had commented about, where's Barry? And probably missed that episode. It appeared to be natural causes. It happened suddenly. We came out and in the morning he was starting to get a little weak, possibly due to old age. We don't really know how old Barry was. So who do we got here? So we have Coco. So Coco is, how old's Coco? She is 3 or 4. Hey, I didn't do my homework. And then, oh, look at Blackie. Blackie's the oldest one here on the farm, the oldest goat here on the farm, if not the oldest animal on the farm. And she came in with her mother, Silver. Oh, it had to have been about 6 years ago, and we weren't sure on her age when she did come in. Then we have Turbo. Turbo was a bottle baby. He came in with Tinker, and that was probably about 4 or 5. Oh, time flies. Time flies when you're having fun, isn't that the saying? But that's Turbo. Then we have Bronwyn here. A lot of people think Bronwyn is a goat or a ram. She does have those ram-like horns. Now we did do some trimming on those. What was it? It was last year? No, yeah, last year I think it was. We did the trimming. And there in the corner we have Petunia. Now Petunia can be tough to distinguish between Petunia and her daughter, which is Billie Jean. Billie Jean is here, and the only way I can do it right now are her horns. They're smaller. But she's becoming to be the same size. We may have to put some kind of distinguishing mark or figure out a distinguishing mark between the two. Now they are, Petunia is the daughter of Snow. Snow passed away a year and a half ago, I guess it was. And then of course Billie Jean is Petunia's daughter. Who do we have here? Is this Tinker here? This looks like Tinker. Hey, Tink. Yeah, this is Tinker here. Tinker is distinguishable by the dots on her nose. So again, Tinker came in with Turbo and was a bottle baby. And Carl's probably about 5 or 6 years old. He came in as just a little youngster, cute little boy, and then of course Billy came along, which he must be outside. Which is his son. We have the pigs. Oh, yes. So we have 3 pigs. We've had a number of different pigs from time to time. This is Petey and Piper. They are pot-bellied pigs, and we'll go inside and we'll see little lady. She's still in the barn. So I think that's it for in here. We do have the pigeons. Can't forget about the pigeons. You guys ask about them. We do have a number of pigeons that are outside here. That one's sleeping. Eyes closed. We do have a number of pigeons out here that hang out. And it's kind of nice to see them flying around the property every now and again. Turbo, you know, it's amazing on how they can fit through small spaces. Don't bother the pigs, they're sleeping. He just wants some fresh hay. He's like, these pigs made this nice mound, which we call a nest. Pigs do make nests. And he just wants a little bit of it. So we're going to head into the barn. I'm probably going to have to go around because this door is likely locked. Because, you know, you've probably got a dog that knows how to open a door. We do. And we want to make sure, because there are grains inside there, we want to make sure that these boys, you know where the food is, don't you? We want to make sure that these animals don't get in there without supervision and start eating all of the grain, and then all kinds of problems can happen, right, Turbo? You know, I was just looking around before I went into the building, and I thought, okay, did I get everybody? Did I miss anybody? And I did. And you guys that watch the channel quite often probably know which one it is. I'll see if you can guess. Give you a second. It is George. George the sheep. George came in. He was, it was last year. And he came from a farm, a sheep farm. And they had some issues with him. He was rejected by his mother from the field, weren't you, buddy? So the farmers took him into the building, bottle fed him, and then sent him back on his way out into the field. But he didn't want to go. And they are in the sheep business, not the pet sheep business, and so they gave us a call, and we gladly took him in. So we finished bottle feeding him, and then he's part of the crew out here in the yard. Now, what happens to these animals? Are they going to be rehomed? Which ones are going to be rehomed? We kind of play it by ear. You know, we've got the animals that are our favorites, of course. And when you have a favorite animal, you don't really want to rehome them. You know, Sheldon's likely going to be here forever on the farm. But we do have to rehome some animals to be able to rescue others. So we have 10 acres here. We have a limit to how many animals that we can have here on the farm. And if you go and look around and you go, well, you know, there's lots of open space. You know, why is there a limit? And limits are put, and it's basically, you can call them poop limits, I guess. The number is higher depending on the type of animal. So equine, horses, full-size horses, cows, they have a larger, what's called an AU unit, which is an animal unit. So they poop more. Now chickens poop less, so their AU number is lower. So we're allowed 5 AU units here on the farm, and you know, we're probably sitting at about 4.5 right now. So we do have to manage our numbers so that we can bring in other animals and rescue them when it's needed. All right, so I'm now in an unheated building. This actually used to be part of our mobile home. We had a mobile home that came off of a hallway just through this opening here when we sold the mobile home and built the house back in 2008. We then just converted this into a storage area like everything else. This used to be Tiana's room. We've kind of turned into a workshop. And then the living room in here. These are bags of wheat and barley. These are all of our grains that we get. And they're in these bags, and then we store them in drums. We're supposed to be getting a silo. There was a guy who did a trade for something that he needed, and with that trade he got these silos. I think there's 2 silos. So He's just lining up a truck and a tractor to be able to bring them over and set them up, and then this crane will go into that. I'm thinking it'll likely be in the spring when that happens. So in here we also have some brooders. So these are the nurseries where our chicks go when we do hatch out chicks. Of course, now it's just a storage in here. And this is our incubator. So I have done a few videos in this incubator. It's a 264 egg incubator. It's a pretty nice system. It's got these racks in here. It has a tray down here that you put water in it, and it digitally controls the temperature and humidity via the set point in here. So it's a really nice unit. It works really well. We haven't actually used it in a couple years, but we're thinking about doing some egg incubating, possibly this coming spring. So what we do, because it's a fairly large one, we don't need 260 chicks running around. Usually the success rate on this is about 80%, so you could say 200. So what we usually do is we contact other people in the area that are looking to hatch out some of their eggs, or do a little bit of an exchange program where people bring in eggs from particular breeds, and then what we'll do is we'll hatch them out and then divvy them up. So it's kind of like a co-op, I guess you could say, a co-op hatching program, which works out pretty well. So if when we do that in the spring, I will be making another video, but you can go back and I've done, I think, 3 videos on this already, so you can see how it works out. Now cameras, so I do have lots of cameras. I've got some in the house. I've got these ones are in the barn. You can see here is one of the yard, and then here's the pond, and then this is the other side, and then we've got our inside ones. Here's Sheldon down here. We've got all the pens set up, and then of course this is the outside shelter area. So I've got one more spot for a camera here. I was thinking of doing, but I'll have to figure out. I've got an extra camera. I just have to figure out where to put it. So it's kind of like a baby monitor. It works out really well, especially in the springtime when it is goat kidding season. We can keep an eye on our kids in there, and if there's any problems, which it's worked wonders for, we can keep an eye on them and then rush out if it looks like they're going into labor. All right, here we go. So the last video we did a feeding video. So here is here's the animals out in this area here in the shelter where I came from, and oh, somebody's excited. Somebody, Sheldon, is she excited? You want to come out? Okay. All right, we'll let you out. There you go. Run, play, little piggy. She just wants to go get some food. So we might as well start out with the little lady there, and she came in. It's probably 3 weeks ago now. And she was found on the side of the highway by some people driving down the highway, and saw this pig sitting in the ditch, very cold, shivering, not a farm around. So they picked her up and called around, and it was too late for any animal rescues because they couldn't get a hold of anybody. So they gave us a call, and of course our number is our home number, and we said, "Yep, no, for sure, bring her by." And we tucked her in nicely, and then we found her a home. So where she's going, there was a woman that had some surgery done. She's just kind of recovering, and then that little lady will be going. What are you looking for? You looking for some food? And she does get along really nicely with Petey and Piper. And so we had them in here. Now Sheldon. So Sheldon is our special boy. He was given a 0% chance of survival by the vet. Said he wouldn't make it. He couldn't stand. He was having a lot of hard times feeding. But we didn't give up on you, did we, buddy? Yes. So he's our autistic little boy. Now he does run around in circles, kind of like that. And it's just his way of he's just never still. He's just always moving. You're in great shape, aren't you, buddy? And then we have our little call duck. Yes, Scooby. So Scooby came in. He was with some other call ducks, and he was a little bit of a bully. So we were contacted by his owners and asked if we could take him in, and we said no, for sure. You know, we like little miniature animals, and he's very friendly. So what he does in the feeding process in the morning and evening, we pick him up and then we put him up into this area here, which is his water and food. So we don't want Sheldon to get into that food, so it's up there. So we just we make things work. You'll see lots of pumpkins here. So these are the pumpkins that were donated to us. We still have quite a few of them. Now pumpkins, so we did have some other ones donated to us. The temperature in here is above freezing. Now we had some that were delivered and they were frozen. So they were kind of mushy, and so what Tara decided to do is she took a couple wheelbarrow loads of these frozen pumpkins and she put them in various spots, kind of along the driveway and here and there, and figured, well, I'm just gonna see if a pumpkin patch grows from these pumpkins that decay in this area. But what happened was we had some deer that came by. I noticed that the pumpkins were rolled out onto the driveway. I looked back in some footage because I do have a Real-Link Argus PT camera down in that area because I wanted to see what was happening. And sure enough, it was deer that were getting in there and eating these pumpkins. So, feeding the wildlife. I do have another one in here. This is the Argus Loomis, and it's just an overall shot of the barn here. All right, so moving along, we have Onyx. Onyx was also found about a month, 5 weeks ago. She was also found out wandering the highway. She was picked up by a couple down in southern Manitoba. So she had some challenges early on. We've noticed she's been not herself. She had lots of spunk to her. So what we started doing is supplementing her and Moira, which is over there, with some lamb and sheep feed, just to kind of give them that extra boost. So then we come to Mr. Fernando. Hi, buddy. So we had to put Fernando in here because it appears that he just hurt his foot. So however that happened, we decided, well, let's put him in this area here. We want to make sure he's nice and comfortable, so he gets his own room. Fernando's about 6, 7 years old, I think now. Turkeys usually live to anywhere between 5 and 10 years old, domestic turkeys. We will be sad when the day comes where we lose Fernando, because he's one of a kind, really. Feathers are looking good. I see you're missing one, Fernando. Oh, you got to keep care of them for springtime. Yeah, we did get him a couple girls a couple years ago, but he just didn't pay any attention to them. And then of course there's Moira. So Moira came in a few years ago. She is a Shetland sheep, and there wasn't any room for her at her own or her past farm. So we were contacted by the owners and asked that if we could take her in. And we did, and she is giving Onyx the little company she needs, his own little mini herd. Now we have the chick. Oh, wait a minute. What's this? It looks like we have a special animal at the door. It's Tara, or Gandalf, I guess. Here, come on in.
Thank you.
So I've been just going over the animals out here. We've got little lady out, and I was just going to talk about Pierre and the other ones. Oh, little lady. Oh, she's just so cuddly. Hey? So Pierre. So Tara, I wasn't aware that Pierre even left.
Yes.
So Pierre...
A young girl came and wanted a pet rabbit, and instead of buying one, I wanted her to try it out and see how. Because Pierre's friendly. He likes to visit.
Well, and he came in from somebody who couldn't take him, right?
No, he was found running around Steinbeck.
Oh, he was, okay.
Yeah.
So he left,
Control, yeah.
and I was thinking in the last video, I thought, oh, well, I missed him. I guess I'll get him on the next one. And then Tara tells me Pierre's back.
Yeah, she called 2 days ago, and she's like, Pierre no like cage.
Pierre no like cage.
Pierre no like cage. So he was growling at her and stuff, and I'm like, yeah, well, I mean, they like space.
Yeah.
Hey?
So
That's
Pierre is a
fine.
fixed male, and that's why he is
No, he's
here.
not fixed.
I mean, sorry, that's what
Intact,
I meant.
yeah.
He's an intact male rabbit, and that's why he is in here.
Yeah.
Because, of course, we don't want any little Pierres going around, do we? No. Okay, so this pen here is empty for the time being. And then we have the guineas and the chickens. So we've got 41 guineas, chickens / roosters, I guess we could say. And you saw the other ones earlier in the video out by the duck and rabbit.
Did you already go out there?
Yep.
I just put all new shades.
Oh, you did? Well, I was mentioning in the video, oh, looks like Tara will probably be around this evening to do that.
That's how I knew you were out there.
So we've got the guineas in here. These ones are the hens. Now, somebody had pointed out that there was a rooster at one point. I don't know. Do we have any roosters in here now?
Henry's in here. He's molting
Oh,
right now, so
Henry.
Henry's in here.
Yeah. So Henry is kind of one of the special roosters that we have, one of our favorites. And from time to time, we will have a rooster in here or two.
So he's molting.
But as long as there's not too many roosters in the hen house, then it'll be fine. There shouldn't be any fighting. Look at these three.
Yeah. This is a newbie.
What are you guys doing? So we're not getting a whole lot of eggs. I think we're getting 3 a day.
More now.
Are we? It could be because we filled up their
They were molting and
filled up their canola and their
got 4
proteins.
this
You got 4 and so 6. Nice. All right, good stuff.
there's the little rooster in here.
Yes, and then there's the other hens that we have in this area here, and it looks like there's some eggs.
No, these are all fake.
Oh, the fake eggs, yes, because we had some that were pecking and eating the eggs, so we put some rubber eggs in there as a distraction. What's that?
Broke one.
Oh no. Well, that can happen.
Broke it.
Oh, little lady will like one of those. Mm. Look at her. She's like, eggs? Do you know what eggs are?
Here.
Okay, now that little lady's back in the pen, I can finish off what I was doing in here. These Christmas trees were from last year. Once Christmas is over, we'll replace these out with some fresh ones. It's just to give a little bit of atmosphere in here.
I'm gonna eat them.
And while they do pick at them, yes. Now the pigeons inside, so we have a total of, we're not entirely sure. We're gonna go with 15 to
Look up in the
20,
corner.
I think.
That's the dad grooming
Oh,
the teenager.
can't focus in on that.
Oh, you lost it.
Yeah, so the one on the left is the younger one, and the one on the right is the male, the father. Look at these guys. always looking in to see what's going on. The nosy neighbor. So we do get a lot of donations that come in, apples and carrots and all kinds of different fruits and vegetables from time to time. The pumpkins are one of them. And then this is kind of where we have things stored here. So we've got Tara's prepared the snack for them so she can grab a handful. We've got the pumpkin pieces in here that she'll feed.
They get that every day.
They get this, so you just kind of make up a
Yeah.
a treat bowl.
Yeah, and if you keep the carrots in water, they'll last longer.
Yes,
So,
nice and cold and
Yeah.
fresh. Mm.
yeah.
And then some apples over here. So we had some apples that were donated, and then those are those gourds?
These are acorn squash and
Acorn
then,
And then pumpkins.
pumpkins. I got zucchini, pumpkins. So you just kind of, like whatever comes in, well, and pumpkins.
Yeah, lots of pumpkins. So
Which is nice because they're really, like this is the time to clean out your animals. And that's what pumpkins do. They clean out their systems.
Yeah.
So.
oh, hi Atlas. Tara just went in, so he's like waiting at the door. It's not dinner time. I think he does this bouncy thing. Atlas is a Bernese Mountain Dog, and he's 6 years old, I think, now. And Tara wanted a big, fluffy, goofy dog, and that's what we got. Are you waiting for Mom? Yes? Are you waiting for Mom? Okay, well, let's go and say it's not dinner time yet. A time change has messed him up, you know, because it gets darker earlier. So he's thinking, oh, it's dinner time. And now he'll just wait and sit by the door. So now the inside animals. So Atlas generally stays outside during the winter months. When it gets really cold, we bring him inside, but he's got a nice little dog house all set up there that's nice and cozy. So we've got 5 black cats in the house. We used to have 7. 2 of them went off with our son to the city. And then we're left with 5. Black cats are very hard to film or take pictures of without adequate lighting. So I'm going to use this. This is the little Olight keychain flashlight. They are one of our sponsors. I did a video on them last week with their sale that's currently going on until Monday, tomorrow night at midnight. So you can actually pick up this guy for free. There is a shipping charge though. And then check out their other website. All the links are down in the description about Olight. But I'm going to actually use this flashlight to help light the black cats. So we'll start off with the dogs. We have Toby. Toby, sit. Sit. There you go. Sit. Sit. Good boy. And then we have Maggie. So Maggie is about 8 years old. She is a West Highland White Terrier. And then Toby is a year younger. And they have had some puppies in the past. Tara went and gave him a haircut and, while I was away, and made him look all ragged.
Look like a poodle.
Yes, he looks a little off. Okay, so then we have cats.
Oh, and we're ready for Christmas.
Oh yes, we have our some of our Christmas decorations up. So we start off with this one here. This is Lucifer. So we have Lucifer. Hi, Lucifer, and his sister. She's waving. His mother, Anara. She's crashed. And then we have that's Rhea in there. Rhea is the daughter. So we have daughter, son, and mama. So the other ones we have are, where is Nix?
I got her.
Oh, okay. Nix is here. This is Nix. Nix was found, what was it, 3 years ago, I guess? 3 years ago? She was
January, yeah.
Yeah, she was found on the highway. She was abandoned. Yeah. So they're all rescues. These ones here, Mama and her 2 little ones showed up here on the farm. So we brought them in, got them all fixed up. And now they have their home here. And then Coda, which means little bear.
Coda.
So Coda is a pretty chill cat. And he came wandering down the driveway. And he was, we found out that he was abandoned by a family in the city. We don't know if he was dropped off out in the country or if he made his way. Here, turn so we can see his head.
There's a reason why he's
Yes.
here.
Coda.
Yeah. Right?
Oh, silly boy.
They say your animals end up like you.
Yeah. And he is, we figure he's about 8 years old, I think. 7, 8 years old.
Now we got claws.
Because he is tattooed, and we managed to find out where he came from. Yep, the unwanted. Who wouldn't want you, Coda?
Right? I do.
And there is our Christmas tree. When you have a bunch of cats, you want to make sure you scale down. Plus, with what's going on this year, who knows what's happening for Christmas. Who is that, Toby? Is that Coda? Coda doesn't care about the dogs. We have probably about 150 animals that we have here. And how many did we rescue this year, Tara?
In around 700.
Yeah, well, with the rabbits, I did talk about 500 rabbits. So
I don't know the official count, but there's about 700.
yeah, it was definitely a busy year. So
And all of them new homes. It was awesome. It was hot. It was
Tara
took
does-
about 4 months.
Tara does a lot of networking on Facebook, and she's got a list of people looking for certain animals, and then she's got a list of people who are wanting to rehome some animals. So sometimes you can make that connection, which is really nice.
It's always nice to make the connection before, like instead of moving them from home to home to home. So I can always put them into connections with the owners right away.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So-
But if they're in dire need, then we'll bring them in here.
All right. Well, again, I hope you all had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Here's to Christmas coming up and all that it brings. Until next video, have a wonderful week, and we'll see you then. Take care. Bye-bye.